Hello everyone, this is FantasyEsque and welcome back to the Sims 4 Vampire Amazon Royal Saga with the Salazar Coven. We are picking up during the Autumn Caravan in Selva Dorada. The first trip I think these guys have taken under Queen Eden's reign. And also the first time Catalea has traveled with the Coven, which is quite exciting. This is usually a time for, we say, our Coven to kind of patrol the border, because Salvadorada I would consider as a portion of the Empire that is like at the outskirts. So this is kind of them doing a patrol, and on their patrol they stop at this place in Salvadorada and they spend some time bonding with each other. Now, two things have fallen in line during the same period. We have obviously Catalea joining us after Meredith's death, and then we have the birthday of Princess Juno, who is going to be turning into a teenager. So I am very excited for that, to see how she looks. She's literally one of two kids we have, like one of two females we have in the Coven right now, that's part of the next generation. So I'm very much invested in, their stories and their appearances and personalities. So it is going to be fun. But before we dive in, let's quickly go ahead and talk about what we saw in the mini movie. Basically, our ladies arrived at the place they're staying, like that retreat in Salvadorada. And normally they spend more time at the cantina over here, but we do get them to, officially stay at the retreat, which is not that far from here. So they arrived at the retreat, and the queen took everyone inside, said, "Welcome to Salvadorada, let's get the autumn caravan moving inside." And then they were all kind of seated together in the living room, and the queen was just saying a few words to set the scene, I suppose. She was welcoming the new castle keeper, Lady Catalea Salvatore. I keep thinking for some reason that she is the new scholar. Probably because Meredith died and I'm considering her Meredith's replacement, but she's not. She is Elaine's replacement because Elaine has been promoted to scholar now. So that's something I have to try and keep in mind. But it's kind of hard as well because Meredith had a white aesthetic and Catalea has a white aesthetic as well. But, hopefully with time I kind of figure it out in my own mind. So she welcomed Catalea in, and then she was wishing Princess Juno a very joyous birthday. And then Catalea said, "It is a pleasure to be in your esteemed company." But Juno was she's never been that close to Meredith, but I suppose she kind of understands that everyone beforehand, they were like in some way connected by blood, and I feel like she's influenced a lot by Elaine's thinking. And she is actually quite close to Lagatha, so she would understand that Meredith was Lagatha's twin sister and they were very close, even if she wasn't. And also, Elaine would have kind of drilled into her this idea that they are superior because of their blood, which, has been a trend for eons with the vampires. There's this kind of superiority going on depending on your bloodlines. And before it was kind of having the vampiric markers of glowing eyes and sharp ears, but ever since the Ascension, everyone kind of has the vampiric eyes and the, ascended ears, so that's something different. But I think Elaine would have drilled into the idea that everyone in existence now across the roles were connected to the royal bloodline in some way, even if, like Meredith, the Dravage and Dragon lines had diverged a bit. So I think she's kind of a little bit resistant maybe to the idea of Catalea joining. And so she's kind of let that permeate a little bit in Juno's mind, which is why Juno probably said that. She didn't really think it through. And the queen was really quick to jump in and say, "We will not speak of this, Princess Juno." Right? She kind of closed the topic right there, and she got a bit like antsy, which we kind of saw. She had her fangs out. So that was that. And then Guinevere said now is not the time, and Elaine, in public at least, agreed with Guinevere that now is not the time, and Juno listened to Elaine, and she kind of, shut up a little bit. And then we move to a scene with Catalea on her own in one of the chambers at the retreat. And she was kind of having this monologue talking to herself, saying that Hades created this, opportunity for her to be at the coven, and we got to see her dark form, where, we kind of realized, oh, she's half demon. Okay. So yeah, Catalea is half demon, guys, if the red skin didn't give it away. And we kind of heard in her monologue her saying that, Hades created this opportunity for her. The demons, they are kind of relying on her to make a place for herself in the coven. She's supposed to be a bridge between two species or races, and she can't let the demons be left behind as the vampires grow, unchecked almost. Um, and so that's kind of what she was doing, like hoping to be a link between two people. Like that's why she was chosen. So that's kind of the information that got revealed to us. Now, obviously, her demon side is not hidden from anyone here. She's gonna turn into a dark side or dark form at some point, and people will see. So that's not the surprise for the vampiric ladies. They have had like part or half demons in the court previously. The devil line was one of those. And there's something that I kind of want to chat about in terms of like Hades and the devil line, because some of you made a comment on this in the previous episode. So given the direction the story has taken, I need to like sort some things out and clarify. But guys, let me know what you think of Lady Catalea after her makeover. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. I really, really like her. She's got white hair and purple eyes. So after her ascension, she went through an ascension. She got the purple eyes and the, ascended ears. So that's kind of her appearance now. And I gave her very similar aesthetic to Meredith. She's dressed in a lot of whites. But okay, one of you lovelies, or some of you lovelies, in the comments of the previous episode, I think, said that it would be interesting, or you had some theories, and you said it'd be interesting if Hades was somehow connected to the devil line and he came to get revenge on the vampires. So Hades is not actually connected to the, like I'm saying now, in the story, at least the story that I've got in mind. He's not connected to the devil line, and he's not here to take revenge for anything. Rather, Hades and Catalea are part demons and obviously part of a, demon society, or their ancestors, their families hail from a demon society. And so that particular society or that race has been seeing the vampires grow unchecked, and they're getting a little bit worried that they're being left behind and the vampires are just growing their empire and they're kind of going to overtake all the species, right? So they're a bit worried, or all the races, they're a bit worried about that. So the demons, they kind of organized for one of their kin to be essentially taken into the fold of the vampires so they can start, I don't know if manipulating the vampires is the right thing to say, but they can kind of establish a link for themselves in court, like someone who's also going to look out for their interests rather than just marching ahead with vampire priorities. So my throat got really weird there. So that's kind of what the demons wanted. That's what their whole goal was. So Hades and Catalea know of each other's existence, but they don't actually know each other. They haven't really met each other before. They just know that they're both trying to work towards the same goal, right? So Hades, he was sent when the demons found out that the queen was looking for a spellcaster, someone to breed with the physician. They sent who they thought would be an ideal candidate, a half demon, half spellcaster, to go breed with, Serana, so that he could, convince her to make this sacrifice, so he could do his part to ensure one of the vampiresses in court died, so that there would be a place like a replacement that they would be able to send. There would be a place for a new vampirist, new blood to come in. And so once that position was kind of made or in the making, as Hades was working to have Meredith killed, I suppose, they were preparing who they considered, you know, possibly the perfect vampirist for the job to like go in and make a place for them in the court, right? So they looked across all of their demon hybrid, like demon vampire hybrids, or demon vampire hybrid females, and Catalea had the closest appearance that they considered the vampire was like vampires would think of as perfect. Obviously she hadn't gone through the ascension, but she had the white hair. Now we haven't really had a white haired vampire in a long time. So Sheba was the first vampiress, right? The first Salazar queen, and she established this entire empire on her own. She began the journey for her coven and her descendants. And she had white hair and purple eyes. Now, obviously, the demons had no clue what kind of eyes she'd get after her ascension. That's something members of the coven have to go through. But once she went through the ascension, she got purple eyes. So she has the exact kind of genetic markers that the very first vampire queen did, Sheba Salazar. She had white hair and purple eyes, and I think the vampires, they haven't had this combination naturally in a long time. They consider this to be like the height of beauty for them because it embodies what Queen Sheba was. So right now, in terms of appearance, Catalea is actually the most beautiful vampire in the court. At least that's the way all vampires feel. May not be the way we feel, but it's the way the vampires feel because she's got Sheba's genetic markers. So that is that. She looks very much in terms of, hair color and eye color like Queen Sheba, but she is part demon. And so the vampires, they obviously expect her to be placing their needs. She's part of their court before anyone else. But Catalea knows that she is not just some random half demon, half vampire hybrid that signed up for court. She was sent here by the demon people. She was sent here by the demons to make sure that she had their interests prioritized, and she'd be able to make way for the demons in whatever plans the vampires had for expansion. So that's kind of what's going on with Lady Catalea. And that's pretty much the connection she has with Hades and Hades has with the Demon Society. They don't have anything really to do with the devil line. Now, obviously, there are some demons who are mischievous. So, that comes into play at times. They are a little bit manipulative, I suppose. We'll just have to see how Catalea kind of fits in to the story a little bit better and how she manages to continue with everyone in the direction that the court is going in. We'll have to see how that progresses as time goes on. Now, previously, I think in one of the generations, I think born into Generation 4, we had Wisteria and Zelda. Now, they naturally had white hair, which they never ended up keeping when they got older, like when they became immortals. They dyed their hair the way the vampires do customarily, but they were born with white hair. Now, even though they had the white hair, they were not the perfect looking vampires, like either of them, because they had blue eyes. They had light blue eyes. Whereas essentially Catalea is like the first vampirist ever since Sheba to have the purple eyes and white hair. So I think she would be considered an absolute beauty, like the perfect vampiress. But I'm curious to see what everyone is going to feel about her and how they would adjust to her appearance. Like, are they going to befriend her? Are they going to be upset that, she was able to come in because Meredith died, even though she's Elaine's replacement? I feel like if anyone has any anger, it's going to be taken out not on Elaine, who's actually replacing Meredith. It's going to be taken out on Catalea because Elaine, she's part of the bloodline. She's of the family. she grew up with them, whereas Catalea is a new face entirely. But then, her being the perfect vampirist could work in her favor. So there is that. Look at how upset Juno is. Look at how upset Juno is. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think that is just really, really cool. And I'm very, very excited to see how all that's going to pan out. Now, when she came in the previous episode and we looked at her traits, she had the paranoid trait, so we were just saying maybe she knows the situation she's come in, and we didn't touch on like this particular story, which has developed between last episode and this one as to why she came here. It makes sense why she's so flippin' paranoid, right? Because she's arrived in court with ulterior motives for, a completely different race of people. So obviously she's going to be a bit panicky at times of being found out, of things being revealed, of people figuring out like why she's here, who sent her, and kicking her out or killing her. She knows that she's in a dangerous situation and in dangerous territory. So look at her just constantly being scared and freaking out. Oh, Catalea. Oh, Catalea. I have to say that I'm really enjoying her character. Like, I really am. And one of the first things Catalea's wanted to do, like, as soon as she's come in, is actually become friends with Lady Catherine. So she wants to befriend the priestess, probably because she knows that the priestess is esteemed. She's supposed to be a vessel for the goddess. So maybe the perfect vampirist befriending the vessel for the goddess is going to work in her favor and basically validate her identity and the fact that, she has a high kind of she's high in the vampiric order for various reasons, like making the right connections with the priestess. So that's kind of interesting. And then some of the other whims that our characters have had since they've arrived to Salvadorada, or the ones of note. Now, Catherine, she wants to stargaze with the queen, so she wants to spend some time maybe talking through the changes that have happened, and maybe they're kind of wanting to reiterate possibly Juno's signs that she received because Juno's turning into a teen. And then she wants to have a chat with Princess Kyra, maybe about her sister's future and stuff. And then we had Eden wanting to stargaze with Guinevere, and I feel like that's possibly to talk more about security measures as they're moving through the Autumn Caravan, like they're patrolling, and the fact that Meredith died out of nowhere and she fell, that's what people say, she fell into the river and drowned. Like, how was that possible, or how was that allowed to happen? And she's probably going to talk about making things more secure in the Empire for the vampiresses, or maybe having a security detail with each vampirist when they go out of the castle, making sure that soldiers are aware of what's happening and where it's happening. And oh my goodness, the cake is spoiled and it is off. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, now that we have wrapped up chatting about everything else that I was, just going through, there was a lot. Let's see if we can possibly organize another cake for our princess. I need to see if we can organize another cake for our princess. Otherwise, how is she going to blow out the candles? Okay, do we have... I feel like I should have had, like, really? We don't have any kitchen out here? Okay, we don't have a kitchen out here, but we definitely have a kitchen up here. So I'm going to get Lagatha to make some cake. Thank goodness we have a kitchen up here. So let's go make some sugar-free carob coconut cake. I'm going to make some of that, pop some candles on it. I don't know if we'll make it in time or if the princess is just going to age up on her own. That's going to be a bit tragic, but we're going to try. We're going to try. She might just age up on her own at this point. It's going to be 12 pretty soon. Ay, ay, ay. We're going to try, though. We're going to try. And while she's doing this, I'm just going to throw everyone... actually, no, I don't have to. I'll just turn autonomy off and get everyone around the cake, wherever it is. Are you going to make it in time? She might not. She might not. If she doesn't, that's okay. That's okay because it would make sense that Juno is upset, or there's generally just a gloomy mood going on considering the death that happened out of nowhere. But you could kind of see in the mini-movie, Lagatha was very, very upset. Even Elaine was. Because Elaine, she was kind of good friends with Meredith. Or at least she was pretending to be good friends with Meredith, but, you know, I think we established she was more upset that she lost a potential chess piece. But she's got mixed emotions. She's just showing sadness. She's actually really happy. It could actually be she doesn't want people to blame her. She wants any anger to be on Catalea, if anything. So she's trying to show how sad she is, so people are like, oh, she's just as distraught, you know, this is not her fault type thing. Which it wasn't, but, you know, she's taking advantage of this opportunity. And then, obviously, Lagatha's upset her sisters died. And I think Guinevere, more than anything, is upset that Lagatha's upset. Resume your cake. What are you doing? Resume the cake. Don't worry about the drinks. Don't worry about the drinks. Go resume the cake. We're not gonna make it in time, guys. Juno is literally just gonna grow up without a cake. I'm sorry, Juno. Really, how bad? My bad, okay? I apologize. I don't know exactly when she's going to, and she's really hungry too. Oh my goodness, child. Can you eat like a, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Eat a chocolate bunny. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Juno, please, now is not the time to be keeling over and dying. You are one of 2 children we have. We cannot let your life go to waste. Please, eat. Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let's pull this up here. Lagatha, let's add birthday candles. Who are you being rough to? Is it Juno? Oh my goodness. Elaine I hope she doesn't, she could ruin her relationship with Juno and lose influence over Juno completely. But, you know, she's now the scholar, she's the primary educator of Juno. So she's going to want to be influencing him. Who knows, she might have a different tactic though. Like, rather than being nice and kind to Juno, maybe she wants to instill fear in Juno so that Juno listens to her. Maybe she's going a different route. So, okay, Lagatha, let's take the cake. We're going to take it down. We'll pop the cake. We'll pop the cake right here where we had it set up before. We could have it up on this counter, but we'll do it here. And then I'm just going to turn autonomy off so that everyone is nice and everyone listens as they should. Okay, you come. I guess you don't have to sit. You don't have to sit. You come and celebrate. We'll get Kyra to sit down, and we'll get Catalea to sit down. Everyone else, let's just come around and celebrate. Okay, there we go. And then Eden. Okay, everyone get moving. Everyone get moving. Oh, geez. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, where is Kyra? She's coming down. Juno's coming down. Excellent. I'm quite excited to see how Juno looks. I feel like she is going to be very, very similar in appearance to Eden and Guinevere. She, like, her eyes already, I can tell, are going to be like her aunt and mother. Like, I can already tell her eyes. As for the rest of her face, I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see. It'll become clearer. But I feel like she's going to be very different from her sister. That much is pretty obvious. Okay, come on here. Kyra, you come on here too. Come celebrate. Everyone celebrate. Eden, come here. I swear, everyone's running away because of drinks. Celebrate. Celebrate. Oh, she's already here. Queenie, come celebrate. Come on, Queen. Okay, everyone, are you paying attention? Good, good, good. Well, it seems as though it's her birthday. Good, good, good. Okay, she's got... Oh, we're lucky. She has 4 hours still. She actually ages up on her own. Okay, let's not... Wait, what? Can we not... We want to take... Oh, yeah, blow out the candles. Blow out the candles. I was getting a little bit nervous. Okay, let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look at our precious princess. This is the final time we'll see her as a child. And then she's gonna be a teen. Okay, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Do we face this way? I suppose we'll face this way. Here she goes. And, yep, there we go. She very much looks like her aunt and her mother. Very much so. Where's her traits? We don't get to see her traits? Oh, that's right. That's right. After the update we had, they don't show us the traits of our Sims. We have to kind of get them in cast now, which is so silly. I loved having the pop-up, but we don't have that anymore. Ay. Well, we'll have to see what sort of trait she has. I mean, she is very intelligent and she's a genius. So I guess her sister has the looks and she's got the brains. Okay, but let's take a closer look at her, especially with her aunt's face like right next to her, so we can kind of see what's going on here. Obviously, we're going to have to give her the appropriate yellow eyes and the appropriate red hair. But this is Juno. This is Juno. She's got her aunt and mother's eyes. We can tell that much. And she's kind of got a combination of her father's and mother's face. Like, it's not entirely clear. She's not a carbon copy of her aunt and her mother. Another thing to note, I feel, is that her aunt and mother were, I'm pretty sure, a carbon copy of Aphrodite. They looked almost exactly like Aphrodite. Whereas she, not really. You can tell she looks like them, but she's a little bit different still. Must be her father's influence. Yeah, definitely her father's influence, which is quite interesting. So I suppose we'll see how she looks after her makeover. I feel like she's got the type of face that is going to be, how nice she looks is going to be dependent on the kind of makeover she gets. So I'll have to see how all of that pans out. I'm excited though. She looks different, which I like. I think it's, after having like 3 sets of twins in the previous generation, I think it's actually very fun to have females who look different from each other, look vastly different, especially when you consider the fact that Juno and Kyra, they're both like blood sisters. They both have, they're half sisters. They both have the same mother, and their fathers were identical twins. So essentially, it's like the same kind of genetic pairing happening twice. And so between Kyra and Juno, we can kind of see how the same pairing resulted in 2 very different possibilities, which is very fascinating and cool to me. But okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give her a makeover, and then we'll be right back. I have finished Princess Juno's makeover, and here she is, guys, after her transformation. She has short hair that is bright red, just like her sister, and you can already see very, very much like her grandmother, Aphrodite. You can see, Eden and Guinevere's eyes for sure, but I feel like a lot... she looks more like Aphrodite than she does Eden, if that makes sense. If I, put them next to each other, they won't look like carbon copies, but definitely see a lot of her mother, her aunt, her grandmother in her. But that aside, her color scheme, I went with a gray, so all of her outfits are kind of in, grayscale, and she looks cool, in all honesty. I wouldn't say she is a pretty sim like her older sister Kyra is. Kyra is just drop dead gorgeous in my opinion, but she definitely looks like a cool sim. Let's take a closer look at her face because, I mean, come on, that's essential. So this is her. As you can see, definitely looks like a Salazar from like the past couple of generations. Ah, the Kyra, the heiress right now, she looks like a Ranarain more than a Salazar. But there we go. Do you guys feel like the Salazars have a particular look? Let me know if you have an opinion on that. What do you think is the Salazar look? Like we've had previous queens where we've been like, oh, they look like this particular queen. I feel like the past, like including this generation, what are we up to now? 6? I feel like generation 5, 6, and 7, they have a particular look about them. And this is the look. So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of very interesting. Kind of very interesting. That did not make any sense. Anyways, in terms of her trait, so Juno here, guys, randomized along with the genius trait, the hot-headed trait. And at first I was like, I like it, but where is this coming from? And why is she hot-headed as a teenager? You know how just before we jumped into a makeover, we kind of said maybe Elaine is throwing her relationship or going the opposite end with her relationship in terms of like how she's going to educate Juno, in that she's trying to make Juno like fearful of her so that she listens to whatever Elaine says. I feel like Juno, because she is so intelligent, because she's a genius, she knows what Elaine is doing, or maybe she feels like maybe she doesn't like people telling her what to do, or she doesn't like when people treat her like she's stupid, because she's not. Like at first when Elaine was trying to befriend her, there were kind of points of friendship where Juno thought, okay, I'm an intelligent person, this is an intelligent person, maybe we can connect over something. But then now that Elaine has taken over, then she's, started settling in a little bit more. She's pushing Juno more than she normally would. Maybe Elaine's a bit too comfortable. She thinks she's gotten in Juno's good graces, and Juno is close enough to her that she won't question things. But I feel like Juno doesn't like it when Elaine gets too pushy and she doesn't consider Juno's own opinion. Maybe that's something Elaine has overlooked. The fact that Juno, along with being intelligent, has her own opinion. And Juno doesn't like it when her opinion is sidelined and forgotten and dismissed, and then being told what to do because that is the smarter way to do things. Especially because from a young age she has been taught a little bit about politics. I feel like if it aligns with the way she thinks, then she is bound to listen. But if it doesn't and it's questionable and she feels like they should do something else, she's going to be very annoyed and very ticked off super quickly that people are trying to act smarter than her, right? So that's kind of what we have going on with Juno, and I kind of like the fact that she is a bit of a wild card. Like, we don't know which direction she's gonna lean. We don't know whether she's going to be an aggressive rival for Kyra, if she's, or if she's gonna like sit back and enjoy the ride and abide by vampiric customs. We don't really know, and I like that. It makes things uncertain for us. But normally with and also I don't know if it's just me, Juno looks a lot older than she is. Like, she's a teen right now. She doesn't look like a teen. She looks like an immortal, which is super different from Kyra, because Princess Kyra looks very much like a teen. She does not look like she's an adult right now. She looks very young, whereas her sister looks like an older woman. So that's kind of interesting. I feel it kind of makes sense that, with how intelligent she is, um, she's a bit more mature. She has a more mature appearance because her way of thinking is a lot older than her age. Okay, so normally when our vampiresses turn into teens, we take them on a hunt to the prey garden. But because we don't have the prey garden here, I think they're going to initiate the hunt, or the queen is going to initiate the hunt with Juno. with like the people that are currently here. So she's actually going to show Juno how it's done by drinking from this particular sim. Let's go ahead, let's grab ourselves a drink. And then Juno is going to follow in her mother's example, and she is going to find a prey item, and she is going to engage in her very first hunt. Okay, and then you'll get to see her dark form as well. Let's go ahead. Yes, grab your drink. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. And look at that, the queen's getting more and more power points, which is great. We should be able to use this for some of these cool perks later on, but we don't have enough. We need more points. We need more points. Okay, drink up. Drink up. Now, Juno's not even paying attention. She's like facing the opposite direction. Juno, I'm sure you heard everything that went down. Now it's your turn to find someone. We might as well head indoors. Let's go for this guy. She's gonna go ahead. She's gonna do her first hunt. Let's go for this guy before like the sun comes up and it gets a little bit difficult to move around, because now that you're an immortal, not an immortal, geez. Now that you are a team that has started manifesting their powers, you are going to start feeling the sun, and it's not going to be too fun. Oh, she didn't change? Hold on a second, you didn't change? Oh, well, she's going to go for that drink. Well, normally they change. Okay, she went for this drink. You know what? It suits Juno's personality, though. She knows the rules. She knows that the queen transformed and then did the hunt. But she's like, you know what? Don't tell me what to do. I don't want to listen to anyone. I'm not going to change just because you guys tell me to change into my dark form. Okay, here we go, guys. So this is Juno in her dark form. She's got brighter purple hair than her sister. And obviously the black eyes that everyone has. And then her aesthetic is more white. She's got a white aesthetic over here. So, yeah, there's that. There is that. And then like a bit of a white and gold. Okay, why don't you... Is he leaving? Who else is in here? Anyone else in here we can try and hunt. But she looks cool. She looks really cool. Is there no one else in here? Maybe we should wait for someone else to walk on by. Oh, wait, hold on a second. We've got this chick. We can totally go hunt her. Okay, she's gonna go in now. She's gonna hunt down this chick. Okay, there we go. The vampires are making themselves... Oh, where are you going? Where you go? This chick was like, nope. I'm running. I am not going to be a plasma pack for this princess. No, you don't get to choose, honey. You don't get to choose. If Princess Juno, oh my goodness, if Princess Juno wants a drink, Princess Juno gets a drink. Okay, if Princess Juno wants to hunt you, Princess Juno gets to hunt you. Okay, there we go. There we go. So she did not just one, but 2 hunts. She's already showing she's a bit impatient. She's a bit hot-headed. She doesn't like taking orders. She doesn't like necessarily following all the rules or doing things the way they should be done. There we go. She's quite satisfied with herself. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I'm going to leave off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.